I'd like to go over why fragrances are discontinued. Now, I think there's a lot of stuff out there and a lot of different reasons behind why a fragrance would be discontinued. I would say one of the main reasons would be pricing. So let's just say you were paying $10 a pound. And it could be any quantity. It could be you were buying 25 pounds, you were buying 400 pounds, it doesn't really matter. But let's just say it had a citrus product in it. And now all of a sudden that citrus product goes up to $16. Well, if you were paying $10 and now it's gone up to $16, they know most likely this isn't going to work in your product anymore. So in some cases they're going to give you the offer. They're going to say, well, you know, that $10 product is now $16, or they're just going to go to you and say, we've discontinued this $10 version and we're only offering this $16 version. Oh, and by the way, this $16 version has now changed. And then when you test it, it's not the same. What I would rather do, and this is how we've been running the company, is we will tell you that that citrus product has gone up and the same formulation that you were buying is now going to be $16. Would you like us to do a lower price version? Would you like us to come up with some new creation or whatever? It's very rare in the fragrance industry for them to ban a material. So banning a material does happen, but very rare. So when someone says they've discontinued a fragrance, I would specifically ask, what is the ingredient that's been banned? And then do your own homework. You could do a Google search. It'll let you know if citronella oil's been banned or if peppermint oil's been banned or if it's now Prop 65 or whatever the situation is. What you want to do though is get more information. If it's just a price increase, you might be okay depending on your product. And if not, at least they're open and you can say, well, this is what my new price is going to be. Does it still work in my product? So does a fragrance discontinue for any other reason? Well, you know, here's one of the other things that we do see is, let's just say you're buying an apple and you've been buying this apple for 10 years. And now they come to you and they say, well, this apple's been discontinued. Well, probably what's happening is they had several other customers that were buying it, so they would make it all at once and then they would sell you your 25 pounds or 100 pounds or whatever you were buying. Well, as these start falling off, and now only a couple of you guys are buying that same fragrance, they're going to say, well, it's not really worth our time to make your 25 pounds of that one fragrance. Here's the other apple that everybody else is buying. Well, if you're happy with that apple and you want that apple, we're never going to come to you and say we're discontinuing that apple. If you want that 25 pounds 10 years from now and you're the last person on earth that's buying it, we'll still be able to make that apple for you. The other thing though that you want to realize, and I get this a lot from people, is I bought this perfume 25 years ago and it was the best thing ever, or I bought a candle and it was great and I loved it and Bath & Body Works discontinued it. Can you guys make it? If the big guys discontinued a fragrance, most likely the sales weren't there for them to keep it on the market. Now, is that a problem for BBW or one of the bigger companies? No. Their sales drop, they get rid of it, they don't care. If you have a fragrance that's been discontinued and you really liked it from BBW and you have 1,000 customers that want to buy it, well, that's enough for you. That's just not enough for BBW. So a lot of those discontinued fragrances that have fallen off that no one can get anymore, there's still a market for some of them. So I'm not saying just because it's not on the market anymore, it's a horrible fragrance. It just wasn't enough to keep it going like a pearberry or a strawberry or a vanilla fields or whatever the case may be. You might find a small niche in your town, community, United States that love it and they keep contacting you and it's your best seller. The bigger guys though, that's just not enough volume. So discontinued for a raw material is possible. Discontinued because they don't want to make your 25-pound custom blend, mostly the case. But in some cases, you might have a winter fragrance, and we're happy to keep selling it to you and making it for as long as you want. So Discontinued Fragrances, we can definitely help you out. If you have some of the oil, we can do the duplication. If you don't have the oil and you have some of the product, let's say a soap bar, a candle jar, whatever the case may be, we might be able to do the extraction, pull the fragrance back out, bring it back to life, and it become one of your top sellers. So Discontinued Fragrances, we can help you. Aromatic Fragrances International.